is Carl Marcus, and very welcome to this brand new YouTube channel, KungFu.consulting. And as you can see, the Carl Marcus is the host. And today we're going to have a very interesting guest. This guest is Joe Holmes, and he have over 40 years of experience in the real estate business. He have been working in different positions, and he has sold over 600 plus homes. So today I'm going to ask him about how he have done, what he have learned. He has his stories he will love to tell us about how he can handle something, and how is he able to do always on time on appointments, and what kind of advice we want to give to other realtors. So let's just move on and dive straight into this interview. Hello, Joe. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. I'm very good as well, and very welcome to this video on my YouTube channel.
Thank you.
So, you ready for the interview?
Pardon me?
You ready for the interview?
Yes, I'm ready.
Amazing. So, what have been your favorite selling experience?
Just working with people. I love working with people.
Do you have a favorite moment you remember a lot?
Let me silence this here.
Yeah.
I'd like to do a lot of training. I teach people how to wholesale properties. I teach people how to flip properties.
Mm.
And my favorite moment is when they become successful.
Very nice. Do you have any moment you feel like special with a client? If you have a special like history you want to tell?
Well, I formed a team of flippers, and it was my son-in-law and my daughter about 7 years ago. And we started literally flipping properties. I told him to get his tool belt and hammer, and we bought a property and we started flipping it, which is the way my dad taught me how to do it. Fast forward, we were flipping maybe three properties a year. So that was like 7 years ago. Fast forward to now, by the end of this year, we'll probably have flipped 75 properties.
That's really nice. That's very good. And do you use internet and social media to make it happen? Do you use that in a way?
We do. Like I said, we wholesale. So we do use social media a lot. Facebook, Instagram, Google, pay-per-click ads, stuff like that. Because the hardest part about flipping right now is actually acquiring a property to flip, because the inventory is extremely low where I live.
Yeah, exactly. So, how is what's the best use for you since you're using Google, Facebook ads, Facebook and everything? What's best for you when looking at everything you use?
So right now, out of everything we use a program called Deal Machine, and Deal Machine is literally driving for dollars, and that seems to be where our best leads are coming from. We use other programs to download lists. The lists that we prefer are absentee owners, preferably living out of state, that are tired of all their tenants not paying rent. So those are the kind of lists that we pull down. Then we skip trace them, and then we have virtual assistants that start to text them and cold call them. But during that entire process, we're posting stuff on Facebook. We just bought this. And same thing with Instagram. We just started out, and then take them through the progress of actually flipping a home.
That's very great. That's very great. Do you have a good follower base on either Facebook or Instagram?
Well, I'm sorry, say that again.
Do you have a good follower base on either Instagram or Facebook?
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How do you know how around the ish how big it is?
Um, I'm not positive, but I think Instagram has about I think 40, 50,000 followers, and
So,
Facebook about the same.
very good. That's very good numbers.
Yeah.
So when we look at everything like that, how do you stay organized to make sure you make every appointment and you're always on time?
Oh, that's really important, and that that goes back to the way I was raised. I answer my phone. I make sure that I'm either ahead of time or on time for all my appointments,
Mm,
and that's just something that I grew up with, and I was taught, and I continue to do that.
mm, very good.
It's very important when we get inquiries or leads from Instagram or Facebook that we respond right away because that's
Mm,
what people are expecting.
yeah.
So we do.
Mm, very good. So it's like you feel like a program almost in your head, which is like on time, on time.
Yes, yes.
Mm,
Mhm.
that's very good. Very good. So, do you want to talk about the time where you had a hard time creating a relationship with a client or investor or something like that, and how do you want to handle it that differently based on that experience?
It's it's a learning process. So when you first start out, let's say you're cold calling or whatever, you kind of don't know what to ask. And
Mm,
so I tell people, I can give you a script. You can go by the script, but I want you to make it like more personal to you, and then you start to reach out and you practice that, and then you get better at it. You go at
mm,
the end of the day, and most of them are recorded conversations. At the end of the day, you review them and you go, "Oh man, I should have asked them about this or that or whatever." So
mm,
again, it's just a learning process that you kind of put together along the way.
totally, totally. So, is it like, do you have any like story you could tell exactly how it was when it was a time you was doing like you feel you're doing something wrong, but you now have like you know what you could do instead?
Um, so I mean, I've got lots of stories.
Mm,
Um, I had a call from a seller, wanted to sell his property right away. And we went out there, we looked at the property. It was in very distressed condition because he was going to rehab it, but COVID hit and,
mm,
changed his mind, ran out of money, signed a contract, and and then we left. And I'm getting ready to put everything into escrow and all that stuff. And he kind of says he changed his mind.
yeah.
In his situation, the way that my contracts are written, I'm really the only one that can get out of my contract as the buyer of the contract.
Mm,
The seller, once they sign, they're pretty much locked into my contract. There's no contingencies for them to remove themselves. They really can't change their mind.
mm,
Um, that one, we ended up having to sue him to honor the contract. We didn't go to court. We settled it
mm,
out of court right before that, but he changed his mind and
mm,
decided to honor the contract that he had signed.
yeah.
That one was again right after COVID. I'd say a few months after COVID.
Mm,
It took us about 3 or 4 months to negotiate, or basically to get him to agree that he had sold it to us. Because
mm,
here's a contract, and we're happy to go to court and prove that he signed on the dotted line, and we
mm,
get to buy it. So by the time I took possession, it was early part of this year, 2021. We went in and rehabbed it. When I bought it, I thought I could sell it for around 650, around there.
mm,
And then the market here in California just exploded. It
mm,
absolutely exploded. After I finished rehabbing it, I ended up selling it for 870,000. So made a really, really big
very
profit
good.
on that property.
That's very amazing. That's very amazing. So And you was having 40 years experience, is that right?
Selling what now?
Sorry?
I didn't hear the question.
You was having 40 years experience, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was seeing that it's right that you was selling like 650 homes in only something like that, in 10 last years or something.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Easily. Yes. Mhm.
650 homes, and that's a very great number. And then I wonder if you have any like tips for other realtors and what you have done and what others will do so they can reach the same number as you.
I think the biggest thing is to get out there and do it.
Hmm.
You can talk about it, you can analyze it, you can read about it. If you don't get out there and start doing it, you're never going to succeed. You're never
Hmm.
going
Hmm.
to do anything. Yes, you're going to have some failures along the way, but that's life. That's learning, and that's making sure it's better next time. Like you were asking before, Should I have asked this question before I let this guy hang up? I probably should have. I'm going to remember that next time. So if I'm in the same situation, I'm going to ask that question. So, but
Hmm.
just literally, you know, get involved and do it.
Hmm. Very, very good tip. Very good tip. And so I will thank you a lot for your time today, that you was able to take a trip into my YouTube channel. And I look super much forward to maybe see you another time.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Very nice to you. Thank you. Bye. So I will thank you very much for watching on this video, and I hope that you get some value from the interview with Joe Holmes, that you get some advice. And I think especially the way that he was talking about how he always is on time, that is like a programming in his head. That's very interesting, and it's something that's super important and super amazing, because if everyone is so on time like him, as I said, from the start of when he was born, he was always on time. If everyone is such on time, the world will be amazing. But as you know, it's not always like that. But it's very important as a realtor to always be on time with all of your appointments, take every phone call, etc., 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 as he told you. As well, I think it was a lot of interesting histories, especially the history about how he was having this seller who called him, and he was then thinking, go to look at it, it's very nice. They signed a contract, and then COVID hits, and I was like, oh shit, what should I do now? Because he was not wanting it, but in the contract the sellers cannot go away from it, so they was having this super struggle. But then very, very nice for them, and because they were very really lucky to actually turn him around, and he was able to say, yes, I want to sell this. And then suddenly he was getting actually a lot of profit. He was believing he can sell it for 650,000, but since San Francisco was like poof, go up high in price, suddenly they were sitting 850,000 to sold it for. Something is really, really amazing. So I hope this video was giving you a lot of information, and as well it was so inspiration. So I will really, really love if you would like to subscribe on the channel, and as well hit the thumbs up and like the channel, like the video. And if you have any comments on how things we can do better, how the interviews can be better, or etc., if you want to join or something, either say it in the comments or text me on DM on my Instagram, as you can see down here. Thank you very much, and I hope you will have a super nice day still. Much love from Carl Marcus.